7 on Wall Street. This is Bloomberg. The final word. France's new president, Nicolas Sarkozy, claimed a mandate today to cut taxes, tighten immigration rules, and get tough on criminals. Sarkozy also pledged to revive cordial relations with the United States after President Jacques Chirac fought with the Bush administration. Earlier, political science professor Thierry Leterre at the University of Versailles, San Quentin, discussed the French leader and what his presidency might mean for U.S. relations.
In his first address to the nation yesterday, it was striking to see and to hear him talking about America, and there will be a clear warming up of Franco-American relations. Sarkozy, the newly elected president, says that France should stand by the U.S. Whenever the U.S. would need it. It's probably the first time a French president acknowledges in such a way the American leadership. It doesn't go without limits. Nicolas Sarkozy also say that he wanted a friendly relationship with the United States, but as in any friendly relation, it involves also the ability of not agreeing on every subject. But obviously, there is a strong access to rebuild confidence between the two countries.
Is there any particular issue or any particular relationship where we may see a reversal of existing policies between France and the United States?
First, the style will change because it is true that it was very difficult to understand why on certain aspects of foreign policies France and the United States were together. For instance, the presence of the French army in Afghanistan, and at the same time there was a discourse that didn't go along with such a common action. As far as the relation with the United States and actual policies, probably the big question will be about commercial relations, because it is also obvious that Nicolas Sarkozy said that he didn't want the European Union open to all the winds of globalization, and he might prove, despite his interest in the warming up of French and American relations, he can be quite tough on the line of business relations with the United States.
Why is Sarkozy likely to have that different approach? Is it because he's from a different generation of French leaders than Chirac, who traces his lineage back to the days of Charles de Gaulle? Or are there other factors that have changed in France during the Chirac term?
Yes, France has undergone what is sometimes labeled as the invisible revolution. The country has incredibly changed, and sometimes it is felt that political leaders do not see the changes and do not see it. So part of Nicolas Sarkozy's policy and most of his campaign was acknowledging the changes and going with those changes. More economic dynamism, more confidence in business, more acceptation also of the free market. At the same time, of course, French are extremely attached to the state and the involvement of public administration into the evolution of the country. But it's obviously a change that has been going on in France these last 25 years. And also, Jacques Chirac was the president that had won against the left in a context that was extremely different from an ideological point of view. The socialists 25 years ago were a quite classic left-wing party. Now they are more open to also the free market and free market economy.
They didn't necessarily change the society, changed around them over the past a quarter of a century.
Well, they actually have known a great evolution. For instance, it was very clear that when they passed the law on the 35-hour workload, the aim was twofold. Of course, it was a classic socialist policy of reducing the workload, but it was also a way to reorganize the French business, and that also worked. That's why, for instance, Nicolas Sarkozy strongly said that he wouldn't change the reference to the 35 hours workload, but will make it more flexible and will allow people to, as he puts it, work more to earn more.
With Sarkozy's election in France and Tony Blair stepping down in the UK, and Angela Merkel's tenure in Germany, where is Sarkozy likely to fit among European leaders? As first among equals, as the new kid on the block? How is he likely to affect change in Europe, being the most recently elected leader?
He clearly stated yesterday in his address to the nation that France is back in Europe. It means that, and this actually fits his view on the role of France. He obviously wants to have a dynamic France in a European context. So he probably pictures himself as a natural leader for the European Union and will certainly be a follower, but want to be a real and pragmatic activist for a new European Union.
Professor Thierry Leterre at the University of Versailles, San Quentin, near Paris. Sarkozy takes office May 16th. A coalition to advance health care reform has brought together executives to lobby Congress this session.